They may not think of it as a beef, however, considering how many times NBA superstar Kevin Durant and NBA Hall of Famer turned basketball analyst Charles Barkley have jostled with one another publicly over comments the other has made, it's safe to say the animosity based off commentary and solely off commentary, as in not what they do on the court but rather off it, well, the beef remains intact. Thus, when Charles Barkley appeared on 60 Minutes, he didn't give a second thought on going after Durant. He's very sensitive. Great player. He's part of the generation who thinks he can't be criticized. He's never looked in the mirror and said, man, is that a fair criticism? Thus, Durant would respond and say, this ain't getting tired, Chuck? I'll never respect the words that come out of your mouth, fam. Just deal with it. This follows Barkley's comments questioning the validity of Durant's 2 NBA championships with the Warriors and the analogy, if you remember, the bus driver, bus rider comments he made last April. In the description box below, you'll see Kevin Durant's retort, which was basically mocking Charles Barkley for hopping on the bandwagon of the Houston Rockets with stars like Hakeem Olajuwon, Clyde Drexler, Scottie Pippen, though, of course, they were a bit more elderly when they teamed up together. Now, per the bus driver, bus rider comments, here is what Charles Barkley told Scoop B of Bally Sports. I hope he, as in Durant, can bring a championship to Phoenix. It would be great. I mean, I live there. It would be great if they win the championship. He's a great player. He's a little baby a lot of times. But he's a great player, and I hope they get it done in Phoenix. Thus, you see, whenever there is this opening, this opportunity for Charles Barkley to just get in a little bit of a jab on Kevin Durant, well, he does it. And he takes that opportunity. Durant would see the 60 Minutes interview and say, Barkley's just mad opinionated, and he feels like it's his job to be mad opinionated in a negative way about players, adding, you're a legend in the game, and we respect you for what you've done. But when you try to tear people apart for what they did different ways and basically bully people because you're in the media, it's disappointing, but it is what it is. It's a part of the storyline. There's more in his interview with Boardroom. Durant would say, he, as in Barkley, is a blanking legend that I've got nothing but respect for. And when I look up at Barkley's retired jersey, I'm going to play with pride knowing that he put blood, sweat, and tears into this organization. That ain't got nothing to do with how he is as an analyst. I don't agree with how he approaches the game, but he's a Hall of Famer. But his game, as an analyst, I don't really blank with that approach. Obviously, he would not like the approach that Charles Barkley has. Because as I stated moments prior, if there is a slither of an opportunity for Charles Barkley to criticize Kevin Durant, he takes it, which leads me to believe, as we learned from the Jay Williams, Stephen A, Kyrie drama, there are personal relationships, or it can get personal for some guys. I'm curious, what the heck happened between these guys? Was it just Charles Barkley saying one comment on air Durant didn't like, and then they've been going back and forth and bickering back and forth, and then you saw the Charles Barkley meme go viral a few years ago? Or was it actually something that happened behind the scenes, behind closed doors? Was it word of mouth? Word travels fast. These are questions I'm asking because it feels like it's getting to the point of being personal. He would also tell the LA Times this, and some pointed this out on Twitter. This is Charles Barkley. I don't care if people like me. They don't know nothing, just like the media. They can't bother me. I'm getting paid for the next 80 years. I have one basic rule. I treat the person how they treat me. Whether it's good or bad, I'm a nice guy, but I don't mind being a jerk. I don't feel the fans and media know anything about the game. When you get picked to the team by the players and coaches, it means more. Years later, Mike Wilbon, yes, on ESPN, would put this in his column. It is suggested to Barkley that his outrageousness has put him on the bad guy list if he's there at all. And he doesn't disagree, exactly. All I know is there's a double standard, he says. If Michael or Magic gets on somebody during a game, people say, oh, look at the leadership he's showing. If I do it, it's, there's Charles being immature again. I'm not trying to be outrageous, but you've got to have controversial figures in sports. You got to have them. So it is interesting to me that Barkley is essentially playing up the heel role. He is saying, yeah, I'll be the bad guy. I'm cool with that. But I think what it shows is Charles Barkley showed his hand when it came to criticism and at times not being able to take it, or if someone fires at him, he just fires right back. Awful announcing would note, it is interesting that Durant chose to personally engage with this clip on social media, especially as it's a clip accusing him of being too sensitive to criticism, and especially as his social media interactions, either with burners or under his own name, seem to be part of what Barkley was talking about. I suppose that is a fair point as well. So whose side are you on? And also, as it pertains to this, are you just done with it? Let us know.